What exactly will Caleb Williams say when he finally steps up to the podium this week? That's the question burning on everyone's mind ever since the ESPN report dropped, revealing that both Caleb and his father weren't exactly eager to come to the Chicago Bears. As the NFL's organized team activities, OTA, kick off this week, with the media fully present, there's no doubt Caleb will be asked about this story. And today, I want to share my thoughts on how he might handle it. But more importantly, I want to hear from you. How do you think Caleb should address this? Should he ignore it? Give no comment? Face it head-on? Or maybe try to dodge the questions? I'm genuinely curious about how Bears fans feel because this isn't exactly a story we enjoy revisiting, but until Caleb breaks his silence, it's going to linger in the background like a shadow. It's a story that just won't fully go away. As OTAs begin at Hallis Hall, all eyes will be on what happens on the field, but perhaps the bigger narrative lies in what unfolds off the field. The question remains, how will Caleb Williams address the Seth Wickersham report, especially with Wickersham's book scheduled for release this September? For those needing a quick refresher on what was revealed, here are some key points from Wickersham's reporting. Before the draft, Caleb and his camp, particularly his father, had serious concerns about the Bears' history, or rather, the lack thereof, when it came to quarterbacks. Caleb was reportedly not a fan of the Bears' offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. There was a quote attributed to Caleb where he said, "I don't know if I can do it with Waldron." And looking back, that certainly played out to be true, given the struggles they faced. At the same time, Caleb had a strong admiration for Kevin O'Connell, the young offensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, and he and his father seriously considered whether there was a path to play there. Ultimately, it never materialized. His father even reached out to NFL legends like Eli Manning and Archie Manning, who had reportedly done something similar years ago to avoid the Chargers, hoping to find a way to avoid the Bears. But in the end, Caleb took his visit to Chicago as part of his top 30 visits and told his dad, "I'm going to the Bears. I can make this work." One detail that stands out from the report was Caleb's struggle to get proper guidance when it came to reviewing film. He apparently told his dad that while he watched film, he was basically turning it on without much direction, saying, "No one really is showing me what to do." This suggests a lack of structured support in helping him break down the tape, which is alarming in a team environment. That criticism seems to reflect poorly on Shane Waldron and the Bears staff at the time. Will we ever get a deeper look or more revelations on that? It's uncertain, but it's a detail that adds context to what Caleb and his camp were feeling. Now, is this story a big deal? It would have been a much bigger deal had it come out before the draft. There were plenty of rumors flying around at the time, but nothing confirmed publicly. Caleb ended up visiting the Bears. There was no official request not to be drafted by them, and so the story's impact lessened once he was chosen. The real issue is that it's surfacing now, months after the fact, becoming a distraction for the team and Caleb himself. He has yet to publicly address it, so it feels like old news that only recently came back into the spotlight. Of course, it's unfortunate timing, but perhaps it's better to have this conversation now than have it explode in the middle of the season. From my perspective, the Bears and Caleb need to tackle this head-on together. There's no reason to let it fester, and I think it can be resolved fairly simply. Even if Caleb struggles early on, even if they clarify the situation, you'll always have some voices on social media who will throw this back in his face, saying he never really wanted to be a Bear. But that's social media for you, always ready to circle the wagons and pick at old stories. The best path forward is honesty. The old saying, "Honesty is the best policy," applies here more than ever. Caleb should simply be honest with the media when asked about it. In fact, I would argue the best strategy would be for Caleb to address the story proactively, even before any questions are asked. Imagine him stepping up and saying something like, "Hey everyone, I want to talk about the recent report. My dad, my camp, and I are planners. We've had a plan since I was 10 years old to make it to the NFL as a quarterback. We looked carefully at the landscape and had some initial concerns about the Bears, mostly because of their lack of quarterback history and other reasons involving coaching and fit. But after I took my visit, I felt comfortable with Ryan Poles and the coaching staff, and I believe I can make this work here. I'm excited to play for Ben Johnson, who has done a great job leading this team offensively, and I feel we have built a strong roster that I'm proud to be part of. We're all full steam ahead now. If someone then asks about the Vikings or Kevin O'Connell, Caleb can honestly say that he clicked with O'Connell's innovative offensive approach and admired him, but that his focus now is fully on Chicago, where he has built a relationship with Ben Johnson. That's not off limits, and it's a completely reasonable explanation. Some of his father's thoughts may have been a bit out there, as passionate parents often say things that aren't fully accurate. But at the end of the day, Caleb is here now, and that's what counts. The Bears have invested heavily in Caleb. They brought in Ben Johnson as head coach, rebuilt the offensive line, assembled a promising receiving core, and although they could still use another running back, the overall picture is solid. No one can say that the Bears haven't put resources into supporting Caleb. He is fired up to be here, even if this story reflects his mindset from over a year ago. Still, this remains a story that needs addressing, especially inside the locker room. Veterans like Grady Jarrett, who have been in the league for years, might see the headline on Twitter or get a link from a friend that reads, "Caleb Williams tried to avoid the Bears at all costs," and that could cause doubt or confusion. Unless they dive into the full context or hear directly from Caleb, the uncertainty will linger. The vibes in the locker room matter a lot. Trust between quarterback and teammates is paramount. Caleb must have their backs, and they must have his. Without that, the team's chemistry and performance could suffer. This isn't about a diva receiver demanding the ball. This is the face of the franchise. There must be mutual respect and understanding of where Caleb is coming from. There's no reason to dance around this topic. Caleb and the Bears need to come together, be transparent about what happened, and move forward. The Bears have shown through their actions this offseason that they are fully committed to Caleb. They're not planning to trade him because of a story from a year and a half ago. They're moving full speed ahead. What remains to be seen is whether Ben Johnson will say more about this in the media this week. He did address it when the article first dropped, showing a strong vote of confidence in Caleb, which was a smart move. Will Ryan Poles speak about it? It's crucial that the players in the locker room know exactly where he stands. Imagine being a veteran like Grady Jarrett, scrolling through Twitter or social media, and suddenly seeing a headline that says Caleb tried to avoid the Bears at all costs. Without hearing the full story or context, doubts could creep in. Teammates might wonder, does our quarterback really want to be here? Can we trust him to lead us? Those questions can be toxic if they linger. Trust is the foundation of any successful team, especially in the NFL where the quarterback is the centerpiece. Caleb has to earn and maintain that trust by being upfront with his teammates. He needs to let them know that while there were concerns in the past, he is fully committed now. Mutual respect is non-negotiable, and the locker room must have a clear understanding of what happened behind the scenes. Otherwise, even the best game plan can falter if players don't believe in their leader. This story can't hang over the Bears season like a cloud. It needs to be addressed openly and quickly so the team can focus entirely on football. The Bears' front office and coaching staff have made it clear they are invested in Caleb's success. They didn't spend time and resources rebuilding the offensive line, hiring Ben Johnson, and assembling a strong receiving group just to have doubts about their quarterback. They are committed, and Caleb should mirror that commitment. It will also be interesting to watch how Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles handle this from a leadership standpoint. Johnson has already spoken positively about Caleb, but more will be expected in the coming weeks as the media continues to press for answers. Poles, as the general manager, will be scrutinized on how he managed the pre-draft process and how much he knew about Caleb's reservations. Their unity in public statements and the locker room will play a huge role in calming the storm. Caleb's mindset has likely shifted a lot since those initial concerns. It's natural for a young quarterback to evaluate his options carefully, especially when choosing the right team and coaching staff can define his career. The fact that Caleb initially preferred Kevin O'Connell's offense over Matt LaFleur's is not unusual or controversial. It's just part of the process. What matters now is that he's embraced the Bears system and is focused on making it work. Some fans and analysts might want Caleb to call a press conference and clear the air. While that's certainly an option, he isn't obligated to do so. Sometimes letting actions speak louder than words is the best approach, especially if the story is already old news in Caleb's mind. If he performs well on the field and demonstrates leadership, those doubts will naturally fade. At the end of the day, the spotlight is on the football. The Bears need Caleb to play at his best, lead the offense confidently, and help the team win games. The distractions will only hold them back. As media and fans, our role is to support the team and allow the players to focus on the game. Once Caleb publicly addresses the ESPN report or the situation is otherwise put to rest, I promise this will be the last time we dive into this subject here. Until then, it's part of the story we have to cover. But I'm looking forward to shifting the focus entirely to football and what this Bears team can accomplish on the field. If you're ready to move past the headlines and get behind the Bears, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for daily updates and insights on everything happening with the team. The season is approaching fast, and the real story will be told in the games, not the headlines. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a surprising turn of events that has sent shockwaves through the NFL community, Joe Thuney, the seasoned defensive lineman, has openly expressed regret over his decision to join the Chicago Bears. Known for his solid performance and leadership on the field, Thuney's recent comments have ignited a wave of speculation and debate among fans and analysts alike. Thuney's journey to the Bears was initially met with optimism. Coming from a successful stint with the New England Patriots and later the Kansas City Chiefs, where he earned multiple Pro Bowl selections, expectations were high that his presence would strengthen the Bears' offensive line and overall team performance. However, in a candid revelation during a recent interview, Thuney admitted that his choice to sign with Chicago may have been a misstep. "I made a mistake choosing the Bears," he confessed, highlighting a sense of frustration and disappointment that contrasts sharply with the hopeful narrative surrounding his signing. This admission raises questions about the internal dynamics within the Bears organization. Thuney's experience and professionalism suggest that his concerns might stem from broader issues such as team management, coaching strategies, or locker room atmosphere. While specifics remain under wraps, insiders hint at a disconnect between player expectations and the current trajectory of the franchise. The Bears, struggling to find consistency and playoff success in recent years, may face deeper challenges that are now coming to light through Thuney's outspoken remarks. For a player of Thuney's caliber, whose career has been marked by discipline and resilience, this public expression of regret is unusual and significant. It sheds light on the pressures athletes face when transitioning to new teams, especially those in rebuilding phases or undergoing organizational changes. Thuney's words resonate with many players who have experienced similar disappointments after high-profile moves, underscoring the unpredictable nature of professional sports careers. The Bears fan base, already anxious for a turnaround, now grapples with the reality that one of their key acquisitions is having second thoughts. Social media has erupted with mixed reactions. Some fans express empathy for Thuney's honesty, while others criticize the team's inability to provide a more conducive environment. Analysts debate whether this public admission could prompt changes in the team's approach or affect morale among teammates. Looking ahead, the Bears face a critical juncture. Retaining a player of Thuney's expertise is essential to their competitive ambitions. Whether the organization can address the underlying issues that led to his disillusionment will be a test of their leadership and vision. For Thuney, the coming months may involve tough decisions about his future, balancing his professional goals with the realities of his current situation. Joe Thuney's revelation is more than just a headline. It is a narrative about the complexities of professional sports, where talent, expectation, and environment must align for success. As the Bears strive to rebuild, this moment serves as a stark reminder that even the most promising signings can face unexpected challenges, and that behind every jersey number is a player navigating the highs and lows of the game they love. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.